Yeah, I'm good. We're good. I'm a little. Just couldn't sleep. Hey, you know what this looks like? Glass.
It does, actually.
It's kind of cool.
You guys ready to do this?
Yep.
Speak Safety,
Speak safety.
episode 745.
Yo, I don't even know what episode. It's crazy, man. I was just thinking about that the other day. I know we started a little bit late in the game, like of the year, but as many episodes that we have already out. I think it was like 4 or 5 right now, and then we still have some in the pocket that we're still trying to edit and get out there too. Yeah. It is pretty cool, man. It is pretty cool. It's been a challenging road, for sure. An experience that I'm like so blessed to be a part of, man.
It's like as we go, we're trying to figure out how to promote safety, talk about safety, get people involved with safety, and that in itself is just a challenge because nobody likes to be safe. Everybody likes to be rambunctious, right?
I feel like it's such a challenge to make safety fun, so that way then you
Yeah.
want to be engaged and hear about safety.
Yeah, and it's funny how it just it's a natural thing that comes by you know what I mean, just walking down the street, you know how to walk, you know how to do, but it's like to be an advocate of it and to put it out there in a certain way, it is kind of challenging, you know. How do you give people what they already have, you know, by knowledge, I guess, you know, and that's what we're trying to do. I think that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make that knowledge fun, and it's been challenging for sure. Like we're trying to make it appealing, and we're trying to make it so people can relate to it, and not just one way. In so many different aspects, in different situations in their life. You know, I mean, I personally have learned a couple of things. I'm making certain decisions that I'm like, nope. I'm a speak safety advocate. I can't do certain things. I can't do this and I can't do that. So I have to do this. Has that happened to you guys at all?
I'd say for me personally, I think it's bringing more awareness of my everyday process.
Right. That's what I'm trying to.
You know, maybe not one big thing like, oh, I was doing, you know, this really unsafe, but just bringing more awareness. Like, okay, maybe I should think twice before I do this thing, or. You know, with my daughter, just always making sure that I stay involved and there in the moment with her, and not getting sidetracked by the phone, not getting sidetracked by, you know, the TV or something like that, because it just takes a split second, and so I want to be present all the time.
But definitely being that way around when I'm driving too. When I'm driving, definitely taking those precautions of what we talked about. Try not to be that person on my phone. I get the text messages. I kind of I just let them go. You know, let them go. And then if I get a call, I pull over now. I pull over now instead of actually just pressing the speaker. Because I have it on my audio in my car. So I can just overhear it. But, I mean, now I just, you know, pull over. Because, I mean, I don't know, man. I just don't want to be that guy. Right. And then they're going to be like, yeah, the guy from Speak Safety.
I run that through my head too. Like, yo, I saw the dude from Speak Safety punching somebody.
No way, man.
It's just like, you can't do certain things like that. You know? It's funny how, I mean, even at this early stage, you start thinking about things like that because, you know, you kind of brand yourself. But it's a good brand because we believe in it.
Exactly.
You know, if I didn't believe in it, then I wouldn't be doing it. And I think, I mean, I'm sure, I'm speaking for myself, and I'm sure you guys feel pretty much the same.
I was just telling somebody that the other day, man. They were talking about, they were like, are you doing this podcast? Are you guys doing this podcast because you guys are trying to be famous and all that? I go, no, dude. I was like, we're trying to change the game in the safety culture. Nobody's doing this. I mean, I spend hours on end trying to look up safety culture, what it is currently, and there's nothing, man. It's just so bland.
Sure.
It's lame. You know what I mean?
I think people have a fearful approach to it when they try to present it. You know what I mean? And I think we have to go just like we've been doing, like fearless. Because I mean, if you look at our first episode, and there's an even earlier episode that we have in there that is kind of funny. There was some good topics there, but you could tell we're babies in this. You could tell but I mean,
well, we care, dude. I was
it.
telling them, I was like, dude, we care. I was like, everybody who's here, the three people, I mean, the other two people besides me, I told them, I was like, they care about safety. They have people, they have loved ones that are out on the field.
Yes.
You know, the other guy, I was mentioning Andy, he deals with people all the time because he's constantly giving them the signs, the regulation signs and all this stuff. And, you know, he is like tightly involved with people who care about safety. So I know he cares about safety. That's why we do this.
Right.
You know, and I mean, I know for a fact we care about this.
I know. I started thinking about that too. Like, now I not only speak safety on the podcast, but I make signs that keep people safe.
Yeah.
Like, that's my thing. Like, and that makes me feel good. Like, even when I'm on the freeway and we've done those big ass signs that when the construction workers come out and I see that, like, man, that's crazy for me to see the work that I've done. It's just a sign, but I mean, it still feels good to be like, yo, I put that up there. Yeah. It was me, you know, not somebody else that does that work.
Because you know you did it.
It's crazy. It's insane. Yeah, it's exciting. It's just like, yo, man, I want to take a picture of it. Like, man, come down, just a couple of arrows. But yo, that's what it's about.
Right.
You know, those are the little things.
Well, you're contributing. You know,
exactly.
You're contributing to the whole safety awareness,
right.
And even if it is seemingly just a few little arrows, that could make a huge difference in somebody's life.
Right, because I mean, I could have put them the other way, and it's been a big disaster. You know what I mean? And it's just like what we all do. I mean, we work in traffic control, so it's like we not only speak it, we push it in all aspects, not even just on the podcast, but that's what we do for a living.
It's been a while since I've worked on plans, like actually designing a plan.
Right.
Now I just jumped on one, and me doing it, I mean, God, I just look at it so much more detail now.
Right.
I look at every aspect, what could possibly happen at this intersection, at this driveway, at this turn, and it's almost as if like doing this project with you guys has really made me want to tighten up on my safety game and how I approach things.
Of course, definitely.
I love to hear that because you're seeing, it's bringing the awareness to you of how that drawing affects the work zone, the people out there setting it up, our guys, and then also the construction site.
Right.
It's crazy how important these aspects are from the very beginning.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, I think back to my childhood too, when we used to play with like the little cars and then you got your little intersections with all that stuff. Mm-hmm. When I look at things like that, it reminds me of that, because even back then when we knew what that was, you know what I mean? That's what I mean by it's like second nature for us, even when we were kids, that we've already learned these things, what a stop sign is, what a yield sign is, what safety typically is. You know what I mean? It's all these little avenues of like I said, it's the everyday thing, and we're trying to bring it to everybody in a whole different perspective.
And like coming from like now we're about to hit this new year.
Yeah.
I think we have a lot more goals that we all individually want to set, and then as a team, when we join up as a team, we want to bring a lot of stuff to the table to where everybody who's listening takes something from every episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Either whether it be Ashley or Andy or me, myself, like just doing the individual segments, or when we do our whole segments, when we have guests, we want people to take something from everything that we do. Right. And I think that's our main goal for 19. Man.
Yeah, definitely.
I love that point, because if the whole, you may not take away the whole thing, but just to take something away. And I feel like I use that a lot in my personal life, whether it's safety or a different class I'm doing at work or in my personal life. The different things, like the whole thing may not be, okay, I'm super invested in this whole 30 minutes or whatever, but to take something away from it, and then you use it in your life, you apply what you're learning. Yeah,
and that's what we hope that we do, just to reach out. Even like you said, like even the whole show might not appeal to you, but you might hear something that be like, oh, okay, and that's all it takes. That's all we need.
Yeah.
Just to spark that little light in you to be like a little more aware.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And that just goes to show that, when we came into this for the love initially, with the thought of safety, as opposed to being professionals and trying to jump on board the safety bandwagon.
Right.
We're already pushing safety throughout our life, throughout our normal work life. we wanted to do this to take it to the next level, to actually make an impact on the culture in general.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, we want to give them something fun. We want to give them something enlightening. You know what I mean?
Right.
Experiences and all that. And man, these people got a lot. They got a lot coming this year.
Yeah, we got a lot of good things coming up. Like you said, we have a couple of individual segments that we want to do, and like this one. This was a minisode that we're dropping on you. One of the getting closer to the end of the year. So you're gonna see a lot more of our individual minisodes. I know Ashley's got a couple of them coming up. I'm working on one. Frank's got a couple of things going on too, and we also have a few other very, very important topics that we're gonna share with you really soon. That we're still working on, but they're gonna be very important, very vital for your safety and into what's going on in our world right now, worldwide.
Changing the approach in everyday life.
Definitely. So be on the lookout for that, and yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited for the new year. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be real good. We're changing our vibe a little bit, which is, like you said, more in depth to give people more information.
Can we get a little sneak peek of our little little teaser of what you guys are gonna do individually?
Sure. I know for me, I'm really excited. I am really into like health and fitness in my personal life, and so I decided to do my episode, the first one, on more like fitness tips and staying safe while you are trying to stay healthy. I think there's a lot involved, and it's just kind of, you don't realize how important certain things are when you're getting into fitness, and so that's going to be kind of my first focus is that.
Very cool.
What you been?
Very cool. I got a thing called Let's Talk About It, and it's just picking certain things that people might not want to speak about, but I'm going to try to bring it to light, give a little edge, give a little spin on it, and make it approachable. There's just a lot of things that people don't want. They're a little too standoffish, and I think it's because people are afraid to speak the truth. Speak their mind.
They don't want to hear it.
They don't want to hear it because it's like, oh no, that might be too dangerous. Is it safe? Is it not? I'm gonna tell you, it's not safe until you make it unsafe. You know what I mean? It's just the way you approach certain things, and I think that's one of the things that I really want to get. Do a couple of minisodes and see what happens, see what people.
That's great.
We need your comments and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
I need you guys to participate. Be out there talking to myself.
What about you, Frank?
Yeah, what about you, Frank?
I wanted to. My segments are gonna consist of try to understand human limitations, the psychological aspects, more of like the science aspect of science and where it's going to lead to into the future of understanding safety through science and being applied in the real life. So it's kind of a little nerdy, and it's going to be a little...
You get into the formula, man.
Yeah,
You got to break it down. Boy, that's going to be good. I can't wait to see some of that, man. I'd like to join some of that topic, too.
Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
I mean, it's going to be, and again, we're going to be individuals, but I love to have Ashley and Andy, sit with me and talk to me about these things, because the two of the best people who really, really care about safety, and they're indwelled in it, and I want to hear their perspective on what the stuff that I'm gonna bring to the table.
For sure.
I'm sure. Vice versa.
No, we'll have recaps on the thing. We'll talk about it. We'll get each other's opinion. Because it's funny. Because we're all here, and I think everybody knows that by now. We're all here advocates of safety, but we all have our own opinions about it too, and our personalities show through it. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens with that, that's pretty exciting.
I thought about maybe like as us, pushing people to get involved, they can record themselves, get on your, turn put your selfie cam on.
There you go.
Do a little vid or something like that, how you stay safe, what the type of stuff that you do.
I love that idea.
Yeah, show us the stuff that you do. Send it in.
Show us how you're being safe.
Yeah, we'll post it. We'll put it up on our YouTube, on all our socials and stuff. Because we want to promote you, because honestly, this is not gonna, this whole project is not gonna go anywhere if we don't have any participants.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's what we want to gauge. We want more participants to gauge our effect on
Right.
everybody in the culture. It's a culture.
It is a culture, definitely.
It is a culture.
We need people.
that involvement.
Yeah,
you know?
we need people to not only back us but be aware, man. If you're gonna be aware and if you really are interested, which you should be, then you should be behind this movement. You know what I mean? That we're doing. So it's important for you to pass this along. It's very important because, like you said, nobody really speaks about it.
Exactly.
That's what we're trying to do. Get it out there.
It's to the little things, to the littlest things, man. And you know, again, the whole pulling over when you're gonna answer a phone call. You know what I mean? Just to that, you're gonna save your life.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, it's like that old
Every
saying.
little thing.
That old saying. You know, it's the little things that count,
That's right.
It is.
and it applies to everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And then all of a sudden, it becomes your whole life.
Exactly.
Well, and I think you need to start, do something. Make one action. If it is not answering the phone, if it's not, looking at your phone when you get a text, just start doing it. One thing at a time.
Definitely.
I feel like it's easier to add things into your life than to remove it. So, try to think about it a different way.
So what I do now, just to touch on that
I like
subject.
I like that approach. Like you instead of don't remove it, but like kind of rethink the direction of how
Right.
you apply things.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. So what I do sometimes now, because I have a long drive home, is sometimes you're there and sometimes the traffic is there, and then you just kind of want to, you kind of just want to pick up the phone. But what's up, Mike? You've been here and interrupted, man. We're doing a little podcast. What you want?
Mike from sales over here.
Mike from
Mike
sales.
Reeves.
You got nothing, man. Ain't no. What are you waving at, man?
Be safe.
Yeah, man. Come on, man.
My bad.
Yeah. About to get, boy, trying to wave at the camera. There's no camera.
Yeah. We want everybody wants to come in our studio and do stuff. So.
He just wanted to be heard on the next podcast. He could have just came in and talked to. He just came in. I know. But anyway, what I do now is put my phone on airplane mode sometimes. That way I don't get no messages. I can't get nothing, and all I do is listen to music if I needed to get.
You don't even get distracted then.
You
by
don't
that.
even get
That's a great
distracted,
idea.
and then when you get off, you get home, you kind of forget. You're like, oh damn. You're like, damn, it's been quiet. So you turn it back on. You're like, oh,
You got
that's.
angry people.
I know. You're
like,
like, I needed some me time. That's what
I think that's a great
yeah.
tip. I like that.
But yeah, put it on airplane mode when you about to hit the road and when you get out the car, take it off and roll. Be safe, man. So be on the lookout. We're gonna be doing a lot of good things on 2019. I'm Andy on behalf of Ashley and Frank. Thank you so much for all of you who've been supporting this far, and we love y'all. Be safe.